I am trying to get to 2300, and in today's video, I'll be playing 3 very instructive rapid chess games where I'll be explaining my thought process as best as I can, and the games are also going to be very entertaining. Stick around, watch to the end, and without further ado, let's get some games started. Alright, we have a 22-14 rated player here. We are playing with the black pieces. Opponent is going for the bets opening, and we are going for the Dutch variation of this bets opening. I think I'm going to play this way and just develop my knight here. Alright, opponent is striking there. Really want that. Is my pawn going to be overextended? Maybe I capture with my queen. If I don't capture, opponent push pawn forward and opponent is gaining space. I think I'm going to capture here and then play a move like this just to keep this defended. Let's keep this pawn defended. And then I think we should be able to play a move like this. Where's this knight going? This is already a weak pawn. That's a weak backward pawn. A move like this comes to mind. Not sure where that move is going. So let's go here instead. Maybe landing my knight here is also a plan. I think we should land the knight here. If opponent captures, we can capture here. That's a fork. Depends on how my opponent capture. Maybe opponent captures with the bishop. A move like this looks reasonable to me. Putting pressure here doesn't seem to do much at the moment. So let's go here. Let's go here instead. I see my opponent maybe going forward this way, just trying to go crazy with those pawn push. But I'm not buying it. That's just going to be a lot of weaknesses. This is already a backward pawn and a weak pawn. Wish I could capture with my queen. I can't. Let's do this. Let's make sure this evil knight can't land here. I'm just playing a prophylactic move. A move like this now comes to mind. If I go here, where is my opponent going? Opponent has this move. Just stop it. Oh, opponent doesn't. What does my opponent has? On push. Just go here and I capture here. That pawn I really want to capture. Okay, what if I move my queen here? Putting pressure here. So when I play a move like this, it comes with a serious threat. Or what if I just go here? Or just castle my king? Let me castle my king. Let me just castle my king here. If I go here, this knight can land here. Okay, opponent is going wide. Let's go here. A pawn push here, I have this move and I'm threatening this. Let's see how opponent handles this. Opponent captures here. Let's grab here. Opponent push pawn, I'm going to capture here. Opponent moves into any of those squares. I think I'm just going to capture here. I should be chilling. Pushing pawn comes to mind here. Except it doesn't seem to. So holding on to my pawn. I want to hold on to my pawn. I see my opponent blockading the pawn this way. And that looks like they have to. Let's go. Also, a move like this, I'm trying to put my bishop here makes sense to me. Do I worry about this move? Not yet. Am I worried about this move? Not really. I think if I'm able to have two of my bishops pointing down this part of the board, it's going to be really good. The next move, I'm looking at playing this move, just making sure to lock this bishop, lock this pawn, and stop that move from happening. So a single pawn just controls two pawns. So I'm looking at playing this move on the next move. So let's see how opponent handles this. And the moment my opponent moves this bishop, a move like this is a threat. Just opening up a check here. I think I want to play this move. I'm just stopping that from happening. If opponent plays that now, I'm just going to immediately capture here. So that's what I'm doing. This knight hopping here, is that a move I'm worried about? Not at the moment. We need to activate pieces and I'm looking at doing it this way. Opponent is pushing all the pawns in front of their king. That's a move my opponent might end up regretting. And while my opponent is launching all the pawns forward here, I'm trying to be careful. Trying to be careful not to let my opponent in. Okay, now I'm looking at pushing this pawn forward. If my opponent push pawn forward, then they just lock their bishop out of the game and open my bishop. If my opponent captures en passant, I can capture here. And this pawn storm is no longer a very strong pawn. Storm. So if I go here, opponent ignores and play this move, I just capture here. That's a fork. So I'm going here immediately. If opponent captures here, I think we can capture here. And my opponent doesn't really have anything going on this part of the board. We are just going to lock down this part of the board. And there's nothing going on here. And my opponent has a king that is wide open that they have to worry about. And these bishops, they are just going to become a monster very quickly. Right, I'm trying to go capture here. I have all kinds of threats on the board. All kinds of threats we have. And now my opponent has no pawn storm that I should worry about. I can just go capture here. I'm up a pawn. I'm just going to be up a pawn. Opponent pawn structure is so weak. It is crazy. Give me that evil pawn. Give me the evil pawn. Opponent pushed too hard on the king side. And the opponent might be happy to trade the queens, but it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Okay, now I feel like playing a move like this. Opponent captures here, I capture here. I think I'm okay with that. This pawn, do I worry about it? I have moves like this, check, and after this move, I have a check here, and I am able to pick this pawn up. This is something I'm looking at, and maybe something I should be exploring. Definitely looks good to me. Also, I have a move like this. Opponent captures here, and opponent defends this. So I don't think I'm on time to capture this pawn. And I'm not going to waste any time moving this, or do I? Should I? Not really. Let me grab myself a pawn. Plan is to capture here. Now that's a threat as well. Also a check here looks good to me. Opponent king is spoiled for choices. Let's see where my opponent moves to. Alright, just going to attack this piece. Opponent is down 2 pawn. It is already decisive for me. One good thing my opponent can brag about is my opponent is happy about is that there's no queen on the board. If there was any queen on the board, it is already wide. It's all shades of wild. How is opponent defending this now? There is no defense. You can't play this move. You can't play this move. Oh, but you can't play that move. I missed that. But I can capture here. This is still pinned. A move like this is a very serious threat. Alright, I think I'm just going here. Let's see how opponent handles this. I'm threatening to capture here now. And I'm looking at landing some checks here. So let's say opponent play this move. I think I can capture here. Okay, not really. What about a check here? What about just capturing here? This is the kind of position where a single mistake can be very decisive and heartbreaking. What if we go here? Where's my opponent going? Okay, opponent is going for this. Yeah. How do I proceed here? How do I proceed here? I'm about to lose this pawn. There is no cause for alarm. I'm threatening a check here and checkmate here. Not really going to be checkmate, but I have such a threat on the board. Opponent is putting up a good fight. I'm just not buying it. Check here. Opponent can block. I'm looking at just piling up on the piece if they block. Let's say they block the check with this bishop. I'm looking at just piling up on the piece, but then opponent can capture here. Ooh. So maybe I go here. Opponent can still capture here, and they are keeping everything defended. Okay, so blocking with this makes some sense. Blocking there makes some sense. I'm looking at playing this move then. Asking my opponent, what's up? What's up? Also, a move like this, kind of a move I would love to play, but at the moment doesn't seem to do much. But that's just giving up this pawn. Position is completely winning for me. It's completely winning. Just have to be very careful. Threatening to go capture here. I'm threatening checkmate here. I'm not sure why my opponent played this move. That move is wrong. That move is bad. My opponent should lose a bishop. Opponent is losing a bishop. Can't go here. You have to go up here. And I land this check and I capture this. This move is forced. So I have this check and then I'll have two rooks. Two rooks attacking this piece. And it is GG's. What is opponent thinking about? Opponent might just be stalling. Because I'm not sure. When a move is forced, I'm not sure my opponent is not playing it. Or is the move not forced? Maybe opponent has this move. Okay, guess opponent has that move. So the move is not forced. I thought it was a forced move. We just land a check here. Then grab ourselves some other piece. Land a check here. Opponent has to watch out for this check. Which is the reason I put my bishop here. So that I can have this kind of threat on the board. A move like this also comes to mind. Just trading this last pawn. I'm able to trade that pawn. There's opponent is just not making any kind of meaningful progress again. There's just no way to make any kind of meaningful progress. Right, I'm looking at this check. Let's go here. I just want to trade. I can even sack. Let me keep this defended. I'm no longer interested in losing the pawn. I can sack everything here for everything here, and should be completely winning for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have 2 pawns. If I sack everything, that should be more than enough. All right. Opponent doesn't know how to resign. Guy is fighting. Keep fighting, bro. Keep being a fighter. Have a pawn I'm interested in just pushing. I'm interested in just rolling my pawn. And I'm also cutting my opponent's king off. So there's no way the king can support while I have my pawn rolling. The moment this pawn gets here, winning. If opponent tries to attack me, I'm just going to move away. Just going to move away. Funny guy. Funny guy. Opponent is desperately hoping for stalemate. Alright. Finally, the guy found the resign button. Let's quickly see what happened in this game. I played with 86.1% accuracy. Opponent played with 81% accuracy. There was never a time I was in trouble in the game. Let's see what happened there. Opponent decided to play the bets opening. Well, I think one of the reasons my opponent is playing this kind of opening is just to take us out of any kind of theory. And maybe they succeeded in doing that. Because I was not expecting my opponent to play the bets opening. And I think move 4, we are already out of theory. We're already playing something completely out of theory. But straight out of the opening, I think I was able to navigate the position very well. The engine wanted me to play this move, and usually the knight belongs here, so I'm not sure why the engine wanted me to go here. Maybe the knight, okay, knight makes sense. From here, then I put the knight here, maybe bully this bishop, and probably try to gain myself the bishop pair. But I did not play that, and I just tried to develop my pieces here, just trying to follow opening principle. The reason I play this move is to stop this knight from moving here and being a menace to my pieces. And then I castled, and opponent started going crazy on the king side. I moved, I knew my opponent might end up regretting, and I think pushing one of the pawn push my opponent made was was kind of a decisive mistake, and I found this move. It is the best move. It is the best move. Opponent just wanted to hit me with all kinds of pawn storm, but by playing this move now, opponent is not really left with a lot of choices. If opponent captures here, I capture here. This bishop is a monster on this diagonal, so opponent doesn't want to capture here. And if opponent doesn't capture here, then they have to move this or move some. They have to do something. If opponent doesn't capture here, opponent is going to lose a pawn. Or maybe they can maybe put another attacker here, another defender here. Or maybe they push the pawn forward, but that's just going to open up my bishop. Opponent clearly doesn't want that. So opponent decided to go en passant, and I capture here. Opponent no longer have any pawn storm towards my king. Opponent's king is completely unsafe, and opponent decided to play this move. I think opponent was very interested in the queen trade, and after the trade, position was just completely winning for me. Position was completely winning for me, although, okay, I was just up a few points of material, but it was already decisive. And opponent tried to muddy the waters. Opponent tried to create a lot of complications, but at the end of the day, opponent was just out of pieces. Opponent was out of pieces. My position was just so dominant that opponent needed to resign. But the guy is a fighter. The guy never resigns. I landed this check. Opponent plays this move, which is good. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking my opponent was stalling, but opponent had this move. Opponent missed this move. And then I landed this check here. Pick up the bishop. Not immediately. Pick up the bishop. And after a couple of moves, my opponent found the resign button as I was clearly and completely winning. Let's get another game started. All right, we have a 2339 rated player. If I'm able to get this win, this will be my highest win ever. But can I? All right, opponent is going for the French. Let's go for the exchange variation of the French defense. Let's go here. I'm looking at spicing it up with moves like this and playing moves like this. So let's see what we get. Let me do this on castle. Once I'm done castling, then I'm going to play a move like this. Okay, if I castle now, I'm just going to end up losing material. That move I was not expecting from my opponent. Let's go here. Let's go here. Move like this, I want to play next. Maybe opponent is going to hit me with this move. But if I play this move, they just sack here. That looks like a move that makes some sense. And after I move like this, what if I just go here? What if I just go here? Is that a move I should worry about? I'm looking at going here. I'm also looking at going here. And it's trying to take this game into very unfamiliar territory. If I could castle this way, I would gladly do that. But I can't. At the moment, I can't castle that way. Okay, let's say I capture here. Opponent can go capture here. Then I capture here. Opponent has finished their development, which is not good for me. Which is just not good for me. Far behind in development. Not clearly far behind, but not the biggest fan of what we have here. So what if we go here first? If I capture here, opponent can just go capture here. Am I buying that? I could capture here. Position is just insane. If I go grab this pawn, what do I worry about? I wanted to spice this up, but opponent took me into very unfamiliar territory. If I just castle, I get checkmated, so we can't do that. Let's grab this pawn. Let's grab that pawn. Looks like a dangerous pawn to mess with. Oh, I wanted to play this move immediately. Not a move I have. I have this move. I can go grab here. That is being too greedy. Okay, I could go play a move like this. That also does not seems to work for me. A move like this, I kind of like. What if I go here? Opponent captures my queen, I capture their queen. So I think I like this move. Opponent captures my knight, I capture their knight. Opponent captures here, I just capture back. So I like this move. If you capture here, I just capture here. Instead of moving my queen, let's play something else. If opponent moves their queen, where are they moving it to? They can't really move the queen. It looks like, oh, if opponent captures here, I capture here. Opponent captures my queen, I capture here. Okay, for a moment, I thought I would be losing this pawn. Not really. Not really. Give me that. I'm also looking at playing a move like this. Playing a move like this and trying to get done with all of those trades. I just want more trades. Opponent seems to be putting pressure here, but I want more trade. After I trade, I feel like pushing this pawn, which doesn't seem to work. A move like this I kind of like. Maybe I just go back here, just try to get rid of this. Put one of my pieces here and just castle. So when the dust settles, I'm up a pawn. But the game is far from over. I think instead of capturing here, opponent captures here, and opponent could double up here. I think I prefer this move, just trying to get rid of this knight. Trying to get rid of the knight and just castling. At this point, I do not even have to capture. I can just castle away. Just castle away. Castle my king away from the center, but I'm up material, so every trade here is music to my ears. Every trade is music to my ears. Make castle now. Opponent plays this move, I just capture. Opponent doesn't even play the move. I feel like just landing my knight here. Castling is something I should do. Because I don't want to complicate stuff. Get myself into very sad position. Opponent wants to land the knight here. The knight becomes a menace. I'm trying to stop that from happening. I'm looking at playing a move like this. Opponent lands the knight, I just capture the knight. I'm just stopping the knight and I'm saying, bro, what is that knight doing there? There's something we know. A knight on the rim is not a very happy knight. So opponent knight now, opponent would have to waste some more time bringing this knight out of the square. Now I'm just interested in playing a move like this. Yes, maybe a move like this. And just finding a good square for my knight. Looking for a good square for my knight. So where is that square? Where is the square for my knight? Also, swinging this piece into the game doesn't look bad. Oh, opponent just traded. I'm surprised, to be honest. Happy to trade back. Oh my goodness. Now I'm trying to capture here. Opponent push pawn, I can capture here. Opponent cannot push pawn. Maybe opponent plays this move. Then I capture here. I'm just making sure, guys. Just making sure. Swinging this rook over is something I'm looking at playing next. I'm not interested in giving my opponent the only open file on the board. So swinging my rook over, something I'm considering. Let's go here. We are going into an end game. We have an end game here. Very serious end game. Okay. If I could trade in, if only I could trade the, what is it called? Let's play a move like this. Prophylactic move. Not letting this knight land here. That's my plan. I'm not letting the knight land anywhere there. Because if I had played a move like this, opening land the knight here, and this is not nice. Just not nice. I'm looking at grabbing this knight. Evil knight. If I'm able to trade everything on the board, opponent can resign. If I'm able to trade this knight for this, opponent can resign. Because mathematically speaking, I would be completely winning. Alright, I think I'm interested in playing a move like this. Alright. Using my opponent's plan, putting all the pawns on the light squares, on the dark squares, yes, on the light squares, on the opposite color of my bishop. That looks like a reasonable move. Let's go here. Let's go here. How do I win this game now is the question. I need to create pass pawn. If I capture here, opponent can capture. If opponent is going to capture here, make sure I do not have a pass pawn. Opponent captures here, these pawns are going to be very, very weak, which is something I really want on the board. If I play a move like this, opponent can capture here. Where's the knight going? Where's the knight headed? Okay, now I feel like going here, which seems to not do much. Opponent can. If I go here, what is opponent doing? Opponent can just let me capture here, and there is nothing going on the board. But if I go attack this knight, I can just go back. Okay, now the knight is seated there. Knight doesn't seem to be doing much. Let's go here. A move like this, I really wish I can play. Can't play it. Capturing here makes no sense for my opponent. I hate the knight in this kind of endgame, to be honest. Right, let's go here. Looks like I'm going to trade and try to infiltrate with my knight, with my king this way. I think we need to sit here. Oh, for a moment I thought I could push pawn. Let's sit here. If I go here, this knight might end up landing in any of these square. I don't want the knight being an active piece. Let's sit here. I'm looking at trying to go here, I guess. Opponent is thinking to capture here or to capture here. If only I can trade this. My chances increases a lot. Chances of winning the game increases by a lot. Let's go here. If opponent trades here, good. If opponent doesn't trade, I capture here. And opponent pawn is weak. If I go here, my pawn, guys. My pawn. My pawn. I think I can go here regardless. I have a pass pawn that may be running. Oh my goodness. What did I do? Oh, what was that? What was that? What was that, guys? What was that? I knew my opponent can capture here. The reason I play this move is so that I can start escorting. I forgot that this pawn is not defended. Justice. Let's see what happened in this game. I played with 83.4% accuracy. Opponent played with 85.9%. Until the end of the game, I was never in trouble. At some point, I was completely winning, but I found a way to mess that game up. Let's quickly see what happened. It was the French defense, and it was the exchange variation of the French defense. I tried to spice everything up with this knight move. And before you know it, opponent started hitting me with moves that I was not expecting. And Right here, yes, I was just being brave. If I'm going to suffer, let me suffer and know I have a pawn. Okay, that was not the best move, but at least a good move. And after opening captures here, I capture here. Position just winning for me now. I offered a trade. My king is stuck on the center of the board, and my opponent seems to have the lead in development. So I'm just trying to trade all my opponent's active pieces before the position gets crazy. Capturing here was the way to go. I did not capture there. I wanted to get rid of that knight. And in this position completely winning for me already. Completely winning. I started just building my advantage. 2.5 for me now. And the end game got, I think, was trading the rook good. Yes, trading the rooks was good. But the end game was just not easy for me to win. This is crazy, guys. Okay, pushing my pawn there was how I lost all my advantage. Not really lose my advantage. Okay, I had to push this pawn forward. Oh my goodness, just this. And now that I'm looking at it, it makes sense. Push the pawn forward. Opponent is forced to capture. Now I have a pass pawn. I think this is it. I think this should be it. It's just a temporary pawn sacrifice. It is it, guys. That is a move, guys. That is the way to go. I did not play that. I did not play that. Let's quickly see. Let me make sure that is really the way to go. Let's make sure that is the way to go. Okay, in this position, the engine wanted me to strike again. Okay, not before there. Okay, in this position, I had to play this move. Opponent plays this. I'm looking at going here. I'm trying to see if that's the best move. If that's not the best move, I have to capture here. Just give up a pawn like this. So in this position was completely winning for me. After this move, opponent captures here. And then we capture here. The engine is going crazy. Position is so... I have to capture here, not capture here. Oh, I was missing that. And now I can create a pass pawn on this part of the board. And after opponent plays this, oh, it makes sense. It was to capture here and not to capture here. I completely missed that. Okay, instead, I was just struggling in this position. I really need to work on my end games. I saw this move. I wanted to play it, but I did not play it. I had to work on my end game. I had to stop that knight from joining the game that way. And after this position was dead equal, but I was pushing. I wanted to play a move like this. And if my opponent, I was seeing this move, if my opponent tries to go there, then I start rolling this pawn. That was what I was calculating, which is why I played this move. And I just completely forgot about this move. And opponent just captured there. And I found the resign button. Let's get another game started. Okay, we have a 2200 rated player here playing with the white pieces. Let's go with the King's Pawn opening. Opponent is going for the Sicilian. Let me do the Smith-Morra Gambit. Let's see what opponent knows about this gambit. This is the Smith-Morra Gambit accepted. I'm giving up a pawn for massive lead in development. Let's go back. All right, opponent is chasing my pieces, my knight away. Opponent doesn't really care about finishing their development. Move like this comes to mind. Move like that I kind of like. Opponent can go here. I think I'm just going here instead. I want to land a check here, which opponent is not going to let me do. So a move like this also comes to mind in preparation of this move. Okay, opponent plays this instead. So let's go here. Gaining a tempo on my opponent's evil queen. Alright, kind of like this move. Opponent can just go capture here. And even if I land a check here, doesn't really do much for me. So let's say I go here now, opponent captures here. If I just go capture here. So let's say I go here now, opponent captures here, I capture here, opponent captures here, I can capture here, should be fine. Alright, so after I move like this, just trying to see if my opponent trades here. Opponent is not going to trade, opponent is going to castle. Opponent is very likely going to castle. Then I can capture here and land my knight here. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see how opponent handles this. Let's see how my opponent handles this. I suspect my opponent is likely, very, very likely going to castle. Just stay away from the menace that is about to happen. A move like this looks interesting as well. Trying to say if you capture here, I have this fork. All right, let's see. My opponent is trying to figure this out. Capturing here, I can capture here. I think I should be okay. And I'll be gaining a tempo here. My opponent captures here. I'm going to capture here. And opponent is left with several options. Maybe capture here. Withdraw their bishop. If they withdraw their bishop, I think I can withdraw mine and I should be fine. If my opponent captures here, okay, opponent captures here. Let's go here. And after this move, no longer have a bishop there. A move like this I kind of like, except my opponent is hitting me with this move immediately. So we do not have that. Right, let me capture here. I don't like all the captures I'm doing, but it looks like I have to do them. Let's go here. Let's go here. I don't want this knight moving forward and being a nuisance. The evil knight. The times of being a nuisance are over. Oh, a move like this and trying to win this pawn is actually a move. I'm also looking at trying to double up on this pawn, which doesn't seem to work at the moment. Doesn't really work at the moment. Opponent is piling up on this pawn, and looks like I just gave up a pawn again for no reason. Just give up a pawn for no reason. I have to capture here because I'm losing material. Let's go here. I'm getting this pawn back. Hope my bishop is not getting trapped. Also like to get rid of this. My bishop sitting here looks kind of dangerous. It looks dangerous. I think I should be able to get my bishop out of that square. I'm down 2 pawns. I really don't have a lot to show for it. Thanks to my choice of opening, don't really have a lot to show for it. So opponent thinking of sacking this. That might be something opponent is thinking about. Or maybe opponent is thinking of playing, okay, that's just a queen. Give me the evil queen. Give me that evil queen. Am I able to get these 2 pawns? If I'm able to get those 2 pawns, I'm going to have 2 connected pass pawns. Okay, opponent strikes with that move. So let's say we capture here. Opponent goes here. I think I have this move and I should be fine. I want to make sure my bishop gets out of there. So let's say we go here. Opponent attacks me. I think I can go here again. Hitting this. Why is opponent defending it? Opponent plays a move like this. With intention of playing a move like this, I'm on time to... Okay, maybe they play a move like this. I have a bishop here. Okay, then I can go hit this again. I think I should be able to grab this pawn. Let's go. Pawn grabbing. Also, a move like this comes to mind. Trying to escape with my bishop. A move like that is a very viable option. I think I'm going for it now. If opponent captures, I can capture here, and my bishop should be fine. I'm not winning 2 pawns, but I guess I should be winning a pawn. I guess I should be getting away with a pawn, and I have a pass pawn that is running. Very evil pass pawn. I have to push the pawn forward again and try to get my bishop here somehow, but it's not looking like something we have now. A move like this looks interesting. Just an interesting move that doesn't seems to do much for me. Maybe I'm going to bring my bishop back here and then try rolling and then start rolling this pawn. Okay, so opponent is thinking, trying to figure out the chaos on the board. Think. Opponent wants to trade that. If I don't let the trade happen, what if I pile up on the piece? If I pile up on the piece, now I'm trying to capture here and win myself a pawn. Opponent has this move. I'm looking at going here. Just continue to pile up on this piece. I'm trying to win a pawn, trying to win myself a pawn there. If I allow my opponent is going to have, already has a pass pawn. Opponent already has a pass pawn. But if I capture here immediately, if I had captured here immediately, opponent has this pass pawn, and I have a pass pawn, opponent has a pass pawn. It's chaos. If I could get my bishop here, I would have been very happy. If I could get my bishop here safely, then this pawn guaranteed to just win the exchange that way. Opponent is definitely looking at a move like this. I'm looking at going here or going here. Is there a reason I should not go here? Let's go here. Wow. Opponent has this move. That's the only move to keep holding on to this piece. Let's go there. I did not even think too much before playing that move. Let's go there. Opponent just walked into a pin, and I think I'm okay with that. Pushing pawn forward looks interesting, but that's an interesting blunder, because after a move like this, tell me how are you saving this piece? Okay, opponent has a move like this. If opponent push pawn forward, a move like it looks tempting. Alright, let me make sure I don't have to worry about my back rank. Let's make sure of that. A move like this and trying to trade this rook comes to mind. Just a move. This is just a move. I'm not sure I get a lot from doing that, which is why I do not want to do it. And even if I capture here, it doesn't really work. Opponent can also just set up a pin here and maybe capture with a rook, but opponent can just capture with a pawn and opponent should be fine. So I don't really want that. I'm also thinking of ways kind of start my own attack instead of just waiting for my opponent to attack me. Because it looks like that's what we have been doing here, just waiting to see what my opponent is going to play. Maybe opponent sacks a rook for my bishop. Makes sense. Sack the rook for my bishop. For my bishop and a pawn, I think that might just give up some of my opponent's advantage if they have any advantage here. Which they do. They do have an advantage. They have a pawn. Opponent dares to play a move like this. I have this move and I'm already threatening to just grab myself a pawn here. So what else am I looking at playing? Capturing here doesn't seem to do anything for me. It just creates a lot of trouble for me. So I'm not really interested in capturing there. And I can move away easily. Okay, they can't really move the queen because queen is tied down babysitting this. What can they play? They finally decided to play that move. Makes a lot of sense. Why am I saying makes sense? Because opponent is already setting up all kinds of checkmates here that we cannot allow. Oh my goodness. I wanted to just capture here and capture here, but look at that, guys. Look at that. So we need to keep this defended. For a moment, I thought I could just capture here and then capture here. But the moment I capture here, opponent lands a check here, and that's checkmate. That would have been a very devastating checkmate for me. Not the kind of checkmate I want to see here. I have this pin and I'm looking at playing moves like this and just trying to double up on that knight. Let's go here. Is my opponent going next? Let's go here. I'm asking questions already. And some very serious questions already. Opponent can offer a trade here, which I do not really like. Opponent can offer a trade here. I don't like that. Trading, well, not when I'm down material. I think I prefer this move again. If I had capture here, opponent just goes here with check. So we can't even capture there to begin with. Let's go here. Opponent is also running out of time, but I want to make sure I'm playing the best move and not just trying to flag my opponent. So that's how you might end up, that's how we might end up just making a very decisive blunder. And also, since my opponent is running out of time, I would like to keep pieces on the board and try to complicate the position if I can. Also, swinging my rook away from this square is something I'm looking at just to stay away from any of that. Stay away from any of that shenanigans. Let's go here. If I go here, opponent hits me with do I proceed? Do I start pushing my pawn? Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought opponent can capture here. That would be a rook. Opponent cannot really capture there. Let's start rolling that pawn. Okay. Maybe not having the queens on the board might be a way to go. My opponent is running out of time, so not having the queens on the board might be a way to go here. Opponent should be lost here. I'm hitting this and I'm threatening checkmate here. I'm threatening to go here. Okay, I can just capture here. No reason. Opponent is also getting flagged. Okay, a move like this would have been great. Bro, give me that. And that is GG's. Opponent played very well. Let's see what happened in that game. I played with 83.9% accuracy. Opponent played with 78.5%. And in the game, I was never in serious trouble. But at some point, I was in trouble, like from this part of the graph, but I was never in serious trouble. But let's quickly see what happened in the game. And at some point, I was completely winning, and I messed up the advantage, and my opponent got back into the game. It was a Smith-Morra Gambit. It did not go the way I usually like it to go, where I just have an immediate compensation for my trouble. The engine always wants me to play this move, but for some reason, I try to keep the bishop pair on the board. Maybe I should learn to give up that bishop. Then okay, also a move like this, for some reason, I always do not play that. I need to learn to start playing that move. I need to revisit my Smith-Morra Gambit. Okay, capturing there was the best move. The move I played here was also acceptable. And after this trade, opponent moved away. Capturing there was the best move. But then I blundered a pawn. I just blundered a pawn here. And just like that, position 1.5 for my opponent. But I strike with that bishop move. Grab myself a pawn. Oh, I thought I had to play something else. Oh, this move makes sense. This move makes sense. I'm trying to get this pawn, but what if I just push pawn forward? Oh, then I capture here. So after I move like this, I'm just getting 2 pawns, guys. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. But instead, I play this move. And now I have a dangerous pass pawn. The engine wanted me to capture here, but I'm not seeing what I gain with capturing there. It only adds to the trouble that I have on the board. I try to pin this and then just try to go. Wait, that was a blunder. What was my best move? Oh my goodness, just this. Oh, why is it such a blunder? Why is it such a blunder? I really don't understand. Okay, it's still a blunder, but the position is equal. Even though it is a blunder. Position is slightly better for me, even though I'm down a pawn. Then I go rook to b1. The opponent not just going to move. Oh, opponent has to. Oh my goodness. But opponent can play this move. Oh, guys, it makes sense now. If opponent captures here, I just capture here. And the opponent has to secure their back rank. If opponent plays a move like, it feels like this is defended, I capture here. And opponent cannot capture here. If opponent captures here, I just deliver a back rank checkmate. If opponent captures here, the same issue. So opponent has to play some other move, maybe move their rook back, maybe play a move like this. I just go here. I have an evil pass pawn, which is why the best move for my opponent was to capture here. I won't have a pass pawn, and opponent will have 2 pawns for my bishop. But I did not find that. I did not find that. But after I made the move I played, after playing this move, the move I played, I started realizing, was it possible for me to capture here? But then I said, then I believe no, it was not possible, but it was possible. It was possible. I just missed the tactic. And then I attacked the opponent, plays this move. I came back here and hit my opponents. Now I know my opponent is running out of time, so I'm just trying to just be patient, just play reasonable moves that just doesn't loses any advantage. I know I was going to flag my opponent. If I'm unable to win on the clock, I should be able to win on the board. And opponent blunders. I captured it immediately, played a move like this. Okay, the engine wanted me to play something else like this. But why is this move bad? What can my opponent do? What can my opponent do here? Although I'm still winning here, the advantage is on my side. So what can opponent really do here? Opponent has to capture here, which is what the engine suggested. And that is what my opponent played. I captured here, and position was just better for me. And I ended up flagging my opponent. After a couple of moves, I ended up just flagging my opponent. If you have made it this far into the video, do not forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this.